Can you hear me? Is the question.
I can't see you live yet.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, there you are.
And can you hear me
That night, I
too?
Oh,
made a
ads.
mistake.
Please tell me. Oh no!
I can see
Why do
us.
you have
My
ads?
daughter.
Go right now.
Because I guess my subscription.
You've
lapsed.
taken the worst moment of my life and made it into
I was
who
gonna
I
say
am.
it.
Why are you here?
Why am I getting ads full stop? Because I have an ad blocker.
I want to be a part of her
Oh,
life.
God.
I don't
long.
think Twitch takes
I'll
ad
never give
blockers
up.
into account, does
Reminders
it?
of him.
I think most of the people I watch currently
I don't
are.
think Twitch takes ad blockers into account, does it?
I think most of the people I watch are.
Oh, wait, I need to
unsubbed
change
anyway.
the description again, don't I?
I can see.
Always
it
forget
as-
to do the description again, don't I? Probably like pre-season. Yeah, always forget to do that.
Okay, we are working. People can hear us, but I can't see us anymore. I don't know what you've clicked on.
Yeah, that's on my end as well. I know what the issue is there.
Okay.
It's because I'm tapped into Twitch. It's hidden Discord to try and be helpful. So
Oh, we have
doesn't
people
want
here.
me
Hi, Janet.
exposing you. Hello. You can see us in a second, I promise.
Yeah. Usual Lucy technical issues. Yeah. Your viewers are prepared. They know you. Start streaming, solve all the technical issues, then start playing a game. Hey, we're back.
We're back. We're so back.
I can see us. Give everyone a chance to get in and join.
You guys like my shirt? Donk. That is my favourite Counter-Strike player.
I didn't know what the context was for that.
Donk.
I am not a Counter-Strike player.
Donk. He is. Hang on, let me move my desk down and see if I can demonstrate a bit more. He is.
This is
There
not
you go.
dignified.
It's not. But you didn't come to the Last Lap Lucy stream expecting dignified.
No,
So,
definitely not.
This is Donk. He's this like 19-year-old Russian kid who basically showed up Max Verstappen style and shook up the world of Counter-Strike. Like, very young, very talented kind of thing. And everyone hates him because he's good. And a little bit hot-headed. But so I've got him screaming here. I've got him doing a hair toss. I've got him trying to aura farm. Then I've put a little bow in his hair and put "Nah, I'd win." I made this myself.
Okay. I've got
So it's
drift.
a 1 of 1.
I got RX-7.
Driftos.
Yep.
There you go. T-shirt.
Right.
T-shirt thingy.
Shall we get started? Because we're an hour late
shall get
because you had to
started.
work.
Why is this one called Trump Island Enjoyer here?
I'm not even going to ask. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome everybody to the last lab, the Formation Lab podcast. It's getting your name mixed with our name.
With Last Lap?
Yes, with Last Lap Lucy.
Formation Lap Lucy.
Yeah. With Lucy and myself, Matt, we are basically going to talk about the Australian Grand Prix. For anybody who's not joined us before, we are basically going to follow along with the official Formula One YouTube channel's race highlights. So whenever we call out a timestamp, that's what we're referring to. So you can load up the bit that we're looking at essentially, and follow along. And if not, you can just listen to us. We yap for an hour or so. And then at the end, what we'll do is we'll just have a quick look at our F1 Fantasy League, see where me and Lucy rank and see who our top 3 is currently and sort of see how that went.
Yeah.
So, first off, how do you think the race went? New regulations and everything?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it was a fun race, especially the first half.
Yes.
I think there was a lot of action up and down the field. I liked that for a good chunk of the race, the leader and Leclerc were so close together and able to kind of, it's not like one car just drove off into the sunset. I don't think that's necessarily thanks to the regs. I think it's just the car being similar-ish.
Yeah.
No, I did enjoy it. It was really fun. It felt like it was exciting.
I probably should have said this at the start. We are going to talk about the race, which means we are going to give out spoilers for anybody who's not watched it, which is why we do this a couple of days after the race itself is finished. If I remember correctly, I think over the course of the first 10 laps, Russell and Leclerc swapped positions for the lead 7 times.
Oh,
And
see,
I
that's
think,
fun.
yeah, I think we had 2 or 3 passes over the first 2 laps. I think it was. So
Yeah. Now, I
yeah.
did see some people online saying that it was artificial overtaking, and that the way that the regs are designed, it's basically that it was expected for them to do that. But I kind of disagree. I think you can't really overtake artificially. You can't. You've still got to make the move, you know? To me, that was fun.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if we take away the battery and the wing, the active aero and all the rest of it, at the end of the day, there's always going to be a bit of strategy involved in overtaking. Because you change your lines, you change your braking positions, and it's skill-based in terms of the actual overtake. But also, you again, without the batteries or the active aero as part of the equation, tires and fuel loads and other there's actual what people are considered calling artificial things happening anyway. So you get into the middle of the race and you're on a different tire strategy to somebody else. Somebody will just fly past you like you're standing still because you're on a different tire strategy. That's just the world of endurance racing, which let's not forget, that's what Formula One is.
Yeah.
So, before we get into the actual race itself, the hometown hero didn't have a good weekend.
Let me tell you, that woke me up. That woke me up. So I didn't watch live. I did not wake up at 4 a.m. because I'd been out clubbing the night before, which was a really smart idea. And I woke up at 9. It was me and my mum in a hotel room, and we loaded it up on Now TV. Shout out Now TV. And as soon as we tuned in, it was like, and the news from blah, blah, blah. Oscar Piastri has crashed on the formation lap and will not be taking part. And literally, not even that, sorry. Yeah, not the formation lap, sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
It was the reconnaissance lap.
Yeah, he just, all he did was leave it was literally the first lap out of the pits on the way to the grid. Man. And if you haven't seen this, it's literally the first thing in the actual highlights video. The first time I hadn't seen this, so I didn't bother getting up early. I was like, I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. to watch the race. I'll do, and this is what I normally do. I will get up at a reasonable hour. In this case, it was 8 o'clock because I was awoken by a Amazon delivery at 8 a.m. on a Sunday.
Oh, what are they doing that for?
I don't know. And then I went back to bed. I'm like, I'm awake now. I'm just going to get up and watch the race.
Yeah.
So I loaded it up, and usually what I do if I'm busy or it's early or whatever, I'll just skip all the preamble and just straight to the start of the race because Sky chops the sort of, what do they call it? Pre-show, pre-race, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And then they start a new recording at the race, which is where they do the intro, and then Crofty and Brundle kick in from there. So that's where I started. And they just talk about Piastri not taking part in the race. I was like, oh, maybe he's had a breakdown or something early on. And Hulkenberg was the same. So I didn't think much of it. And then it wasn't till a bit further in that I realised, no, he's binned it. And I saw the replay, I think, on Facebook. And I saw it once and immediately went, no, that's a driver error. He's mounted the curb, tried to put the power down coming off the curb, and then you can see the car literally bounce off the curb, and that's where he's lost it.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
You can literally see on the replay as well, he literally immediately puts his hands to his helmet in like despair. You know, he knows he's messed up. It's not an angry, why has this happened to me? It's a what have I done kind of response. So
Yeah, I think.
yeah, I mean, even in his body language, you could kind of see that he knew
Yeah,
he'd
and if
made an error.
you watch the highlights, I think you see it, but you can see immediately, even from the onboard shot, where he bounces over the curbs and then that's it, it's off. So I wonder if that's just he was expecting a bit more grip with like the older cars with their downforce and that sort of thing. I don't know.
I mean, it's sad. You don't want to see that happen to anyone, especially
No.
not someone's home race
No,
and
exactly.
the first race of the season, and a
Well, the race hadn't
championship
started,
contender.
so he's going to go down as
Yeah.
it did not start.
Yeah.
So
Oh. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, I feel bad for all the fans as well. Like, I saw someone had made a silly little Instagram reel or something that was it was them just walking away from a grandstand and being like, "Should I just go home now?" or something.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, because you at that point you're like at least 20 minutes for the start of the race.
mm.
So I hope they didn't go home early because actually I think there was some good
I'm
racing.
sure they
going
were just
on.
joking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what people like, making stuff for content.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So the actual start of the race, as expected, the Ferraris got off the line like stabbed rats. There's no other way of putting it. If I remember correctly, Leclerc led into turn 1 and he started P4. And then Hamilton, I think, got into P2 or 3. I'll just let this play through. Yeah, he was in. Yeah, so Hamilton got into P3. He got hemmed in a little bit by Russell and Leclerc going into turn 1, so he couldn't really make any more progress. And then he ended up running wide, which kind of hampered him a little bit. So that put him on the back foot for the entirety of the rest of the race.
Yeah.
Antonelli had a poor start from P2 on the grid. So I'm looking at Leclerc leading in halfway through T2. And Antonelli is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th. And he started on second on the grid. He made up for it though. Pretty quickly. He didn't hang about. Those Mercedes are really fast this year. So,
Yeah. On the flip side, Arvid Lindblad.
Yeah, he had a good start.
Really good start. I think he did it. Was it P3? He made his way up to.
So the frame I'm looking at the
8th or
moment,
9th?
we're 34 seconds into this highlight video. He is just behind Antonelli, or he's alongside Antonelli in P7. He made his way pretty far up the grid. Talking of good starts, the master of good starts, Mr. Fernando Alonso, he was in the top 10 the first half of the race. He'd managed to haul that tractor up to, I think at one point he was running in P8.
Wow.
Like
I do remember looking at the standings and being like, wow, it does look like...
how did he get up there?
Yeah, I was like, maybe it wasn't as bad as we thought it was. No, it kind of was.
Yeah, it was. We'll
Alonso's
get there. We'll get there. But Alonso is just the master of good starts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's 12th here.
I'll never forget that one time. I know it's not really a good start. It was more of a crafty start. The wily old fox start. That one time in Russia where he just cut the corner on purpose because he could.
Yeah, he followed the rules. But he's so good at just good starts. Have you seen some of his onboards where everyone sort of moves to the inside trying to jostle for position? He just drives around the outside of all of them.
He just goes, whoop.
Yeah. So moving on to, I'm 46 seconds in. This is T5 or 6. Can't remember exactly. I'm not that familiar with the corner names here. Lindblad, P4, currently alongside Hamilton. So they made some. He made some good positions to start with. Yeah, and he actually passed Hamilton here. There was a lot of jostling for position as everybody was trying to sort themselves out. Oh, before I forget, at the start, did you see Colapinto's avoidance of Lawson?
Oh, yes, I did see that. That's terrifying.
Yeah,
that was actually
yeah, that car came out of literally nowhere, and then I think he was millimeters away from hitting it on one side, and then as he swerved around it, the back end stepped out, and then he was millimeters away from the pit wall at the same time.
Yeah, honestly, respect.
Yeah,
Kept a cool head. Did he lose a bit of front wing on that?
he might have done. I don't recall.
We've got some
Um,
chatters as well. I do want to give them a shout out. So for anyone who's listening to this on replay, we do film this live or record this live. And if you are around at the time, then you can hop into our live chat and weigh in. So
Yeah, the link will be in the YouTube description. It's
Yeah.
Lucy's Twitch. That's not Lucy.
last lap, Lucy.
Yeah.
I'm
So
surprised so Max says, I'm surprised the stewards allowed Stroll to race, considering that not a single time he sat in any free practice sessions was within the 107% rule.
I get it. So the thing you have to remember here is the point of the 107% rule is to avoid dangerously slow cars and drivers on the track. And I think Stroll has a proven track record that he can drive fast enough to be within that 107%. So he was never really going to pose a threat to be in a dangerous position or be too slow or something like that. And he's been around long enough that if he has an issue, he knows how to get out of the way without being in the way.
Yeah.
So
and how to observe blue flags and everything.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah, I think that's why that was allowed through. I don't think it's an issue really. It's more if like Cadillac were 20 seconds off the pace or something like that. The whole point is to avoid them being that slow. So I don't think that was ever going to be an issue really.
Yeah.
Back to the actual race. Still on lap 1. How long did it take for Russell to catch? Play this through because we were at that point of the first lap where everyone sort of jostled for position, got themselves into sort of single file almost. What I will say is I did not like the single decimal place time gaps here.
I need my
I was not a fan.
milliseconds.
Yeah.
I need my milliseconds.
Oh yeah, so towards the end of the lap, Lindblad did get himself up to P3. So and then
he was my driver of the day personally. A lot of it just for that start alone. Like that's so impressive to do that on your first
debut
ever
as well.
F1. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, look at where Hadjar was this time last year. You know.
Yeah, so we're now looking at about 1 minute and 30 or so in, and we're watching Hamilton, Hadjar, and Lindblad all fighting for position. Yeah. And you've got to give credit to Hadjar as well, because you have to remember his race last year. He binned it on the actual formation lap, didn't he?
Formation lap mentioned.
Yep, and that was a weather thing because it was wet last year. Yeah. And he's now in the full Red Bull Racing team as well, on his own at the front, because Verstappen binned it in qualifying. Yeah. And he's up at the front fighting with Lindblad, who's obviously sister team, can't run him off the road, and Hamilton, who, let's not forget, Hamilton's dad is the one that consoled Hadjar in the pits last year. And now, at this point, that you've got these three all fighting together. Norris is just behind, Antonelli is just behind them as well. And it's quite chaotic, and it feels to me like these cars could follow each other a lot more compared to last year. So,
yeah, I just want to welcome Perfect Paddock to the chat. Hello, nice to have you with us. Please do vlog your experience at the Le Mans 24 Hours and the Austrian Grand Prix. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, definitely. Share it with us in Lucy's Discord as well. We'll give it a watch.
Join the Discord.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody join the Discord. That's where we chat about this a lot. So, second change of lead this is now. Lap 2, halfway around the lap. Russell catching... Oh, here we go. The timing screen's come up. So, Alonso made it up to P10 by this point. Which is... I don't remember exactly off the top of my head where he started, but it wasn't anywhere near P10. And then you got Verstappen as well, made it up to P16, because I think he was right at the back. Yeah. And all while that's going on, you've got Russell and Leclerc fighting for the lead. Now, at the frame I'm stopped on, 2 minutes and 2 seconds, I want to point out the exact reasons that we need the milliseconds back. The frame I'm looking at Russell is a full car length behind Leclerc. The timing screen says he is 0.0 seconds behind him. How is that useful? You can clearly see Russell is behind Leclerc, but the timing screen says they're alongside each other, essentially. Like, yeah. It annoyed me, and it annoyed a lot of people as well. So
Yeah, I need my milliseconds. I need them.
in this sport, qualifying has been decided by the last of 3 decimal places before. So clearly it's necessary.
Yeah. This is literally a sport where every thousandth of a second does count.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally all about on those corners where you can gain an extra 10 for 100 or even 1,000. Like, that's the difference.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the sort of splits we're talking about. We have to make use of it. We have to see that. It matters.
Yeah.
I want to shout out the race director again, because they started using that picture-in-picture a whole lot more. So the video in the timing tree, because the lap 2 highlight we were just looking at had Verstappen. Now they're looking at Antonelli while the lead is changing again on lap 3. And this is the whole ebbs and flows thing. And you see this as people charge the battery and then discharge the battery and then use it for overtaking and then defending, and you're going to see this, and this is all part of the strategy. Now, I've seen a lot of people say they don't like this element of it, like the whole recharge battery management thing. I genuinely think this will go away by the end of the year. I think the teams are going to get used to how to charge the batteries, where to charge the batteries, and they'll nail down all their software and all of the mapping and everything so that it just does it automatically, and it regens enough that it just stops becoming a talking point.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing. F1's all about adapting.
And let's not forget last year and all the subsequent years that we've always had hybrids, battery management has always been a thing.
Yeah.
Because you still had, I think, if I remember correctly, the team still had a little overtake boost from the batteries. So you could manually deploy some battery to pass someone. Circa the KERS era that we had way before hybrid was even a thing, if anybody remembers that. So this has always been a thing. We're just talking about it because it's a new set of regulations. So, yeah, let's roll on. Leclerc pass. I think they're skipping through a lot of these overtakes, because Leclerc did sit in the lead for 3 laps before Russell came back at him. And it did for a while look like Ferrari were going to just hang on to the lead, until Russell passed him again, with Hamilton looming in the background, and Antonelli, where is he now? 4th. He's 7 seconds behind the lead at this point. So he dropped right off. But it did look like at this point Ferrari were bringing the challenge to Mercedes.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It was very much like, we couldn't have really guessed who would have won it at that stage in the race.
No, because the talk prior to this year was, or the season starting, was Mercedes the outright favourite. And everyone, and especially after qualifying, where Russell was, or the next car that wasn't a Mercedes off the lead was 0.8 of a second. And at that point, everyone was like, yeah, it's going to be a Mercedes year, and they're just going to walk away with this. And then immediately we got the Ferraris into lead, and then the lead exchanging hands 7 times. There was a point where I think they put the graphic at the top that says new race leader. There was a point where it's this lap here. So let me roll this back to, where are we? 3 minutes 30, right? You see Russell go down the inside of Leclerc. He locks up a little bit, but he goes past Leclerc into turn 1. And he's clearly ahead. He makes the apex. The graphic comes up, new race leader. Then into turn 2, Leclerc repasses him and is now the new race leader. And I kind of feel like the graphics people were so used to a pass being that was it, and nobody could then pass again, that they didn't expect Leclerc to come straight back past.
It's like the error. It was like
Yeah, because obviously anybody who's experienced Formula One, you see the lockup and you're like, he's not going to make that corner. And he didn't. He nearly ran wide and off the track, and then Leclerc straight back past him. And then at this point, you've now got Hamilton on the back of the pair of them. So now we're watching it. It's like, this is a 3-way fight for the lead. And at this point, Antonelli's now only 3.5 seconds behind the three of them. So this becomes a 4-way fight for the lead. Especially while they're squabbling with each other, because they're all losing time. Yeah, there's the graphic then. New race leader. Right, lap 11 is where things start getting interesting. Because Hadjar had an engine failure.
I'm so sad for him.
Yeah,
the universe does not want him to finish the Australian Grand Prix.
Except I think at that point he was running P5, so he was in for good strong points as well. And clearly he's got the Australian curse from Piastri.
Yeah. I mean, as well as points, it's also just a really good confidence boost of just knowing that you can do it as a Red Bull driver.
And
like,
he
just
was.
to cross the line and get a good point haul. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
and
I
he
hope that the fact that he's had an issue that's no fault of his own isn't going to knock him at all.
Yeah. I think he was in a good position, and he should be proud of himself to get in that Red Bull and be competitive, especially in a new era of regulations. And this is where things I think this is where things unraveled a little bit for Ferrari. So at this point in time, Leclerc is in the lead, then Russell, then Hamilton, and then Antonelli, and they're driving around as a group of 4. And Mercedes pit, and Ferrari didn't. And I've seen a lot of people say Ferrari should have pitted. And I'm not sure if that would have been the right call for them or not. Apparently the Hamilton's race engineers said he would have been 10 seconds up the road, and they were about 11 behind if they'd stopped. At the time, and I said this in your Discord when we were talking about it, I wasn't sure if Ferrari had the longer term race pace to be able to keep up with the Mercedes. So the one stop, which is what they ultimately did, I think might have been their way of... It would have been the only way to try and keep up with the Mercedes, by doing the one stop. And even with their one stop, and if Mercedes hadn't pit under a safety car, which saved them 10 seconds, they'd have been 10 seconds up the road and been right on the back of the Mercedes. So I think that would have worked for them. I think what happened here is that the virtual safety car helped the Mercedes.
Yeah. Yeah, it really didn't help Hamilton, especially.
No, definitely not. Him in third place. So, yeah. So this puts us at this point in time, Hadjar puts us as 3 retirees.
Yeah. 2
is mechanical failures, and 1 is Piastri. We'll not mention him again. But
sorry to the Piastri fans out there.
Yeah. But let's also shout out Hadjar again, because he pulled up at a gate, as it were, a gap in the track, so the marshals just had to roll him backwards, and that was it. Virtual safety car was done in, 2 or 3 laps, something like that. And then lap 15 is where Alonso retired for the first time. Because if you didn't notice, he retired and then came back out again.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going on there.
Yeah, so I don't think there's anything in the rules that say they can't push him into the garage, do some work on the car, and send him back out again. Most people don't do that because they've got literally nothing to gain. It's not like endurance racing where you might have 6 to 8 hours to catch up again and try and get on the back with a few safety cars and other people breaking down, stuff like that. This is if you're out, if you have to pull up in the box and retire, there's no point most of the time. But I think they need to do as much running as they possibly can. So they fixed the car. I don't remember what was wrong with it. I don't know whether they said on the broadcast. But they fixed the car and then sent it back out again. So, yeah, the Astons were testing. Yeah, it's exactly that. The Aston Martins are so far behind on development that they needed to just use this as a test session. And every race at this point is a test session for them to get themselves out there and get some more mileage on the car, essentially. Did you see the Perez-Lawson fight? We're at what are we now? 4 minutes 47 in the replay, in the highlights.
I don't know.
Load it up.
I was really tired. No, I can't, because if I load it up, it's going to switch off our stream.
Okay.
So
this is where Lawson tried to go around the outside of Perez, and Perez basically ran him off the road. And I don't think there wasn't a penalty given for this, but I think this was aggressive from Perez. But I don't think Lawson was entitled to space. And then I think a lap later, Lawson went up the inside and pushed Perez off the road in basically the same move. Yeah, it was dismissed. Yeah, I think it was aggressive from Perez, but I don't think it deserved a penalty. So that was the correct call. And then lap 18, the first of the Cadillacs retired, which I think everybody was expecting. I don't think anybody was realistically expecting them to make it to the end of the race, but it was Bottas who retired on the pit entry. Now, immediately the commentators were like, right, the Ferrari pit here. Is this their opportunity? Because they're running 1-2 at this point with Russell and Antonelli in third and fourth. And they still didn't. In fairness, I think Bernie Collins came on the Sky broadcast, and I think Ferrari's was just past the pit entry where Bottas pulled over. And then by the time they came round again, the pit lane was closed. Because a few people did come into the pits. But ultimately they closed the pit lane entry so that they could then just push Bottas into the pit lane. So, yeah, I think that was just unfortunate timing for Ferrari. No, there they are. No, they're just coming past now on what I'm watching, which is about 5 minutes in. So I think they could have made a stop, but I think they were too close to the end. Where are we? Yeah, they were coming up like 2-3 corners before the end of the track. So I don't think they'd have made a call. I mean, we all know Ferrari don't make fast calls.
No, too many cooks in the kitchen, as we've been saying.
Yeah, you ask the question and then they're like, "We're checking," and then come back to you like 3 laps later. So
we will
too
find out in 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're now up to what are we, lap 20, and we're starting to look at Verstappen's in P6 at this point. And then Ocon and who was that? Ocon and Gasly colliding again. Is it even a Formula One season if they don't crash into each other at this point? So I think somebody asked Gasly about it. It's like, yeah, we've been here before. I've said it all before. There's nothing more to say. So, yeah. They investigated it, but I don't think they gave any penalties for it. I think it was same as the Lawson Perez incident. It was just a bit rough, as it were, but it wasn't really. I'm glad they stopped giving out penalties as much, because it felt like every single race there was a penalty, just without fail. Yeah, it just became too much.
Let them race challenge.
yeah, exactly. So I've just scrolled this through. We're now on lap 28. I'm just watching Russell pass Hamilton for the lead before Hamilton stopped the first time. Mm-hmm. Alonso is P19, behind Bottas, who's already retired, which is a weird graphic that I've never seen. But he's also 15 minutes and 10 seconds behind.
I thought that was so funny. That was so
yeah.
funny.
15 minutes. I looked at it and went, does that say 15 minutes? It's like, yeah, he did come back out. It's like, that's the first time I've seen anything more than like a minute or two on the timing.
Yeah.
At that point, a single decimal place for the seconds is fine.
Yeah.
but again, right? So I'm gonna bring this up again. The frame I'm looking at, 5 minutes 58. Russell is in front of Hamilton. The timing tree says Hamilton. Russell is 0.0 behind. This does not work. Did you already talk about the Colapinto and Go penalty? No. Yeah. I saw that.
Oh, that was so funny. I don't know if it was because it was so early or what, but I was laughing away at that.
Yeah,
That
I think
was funny.
everybody was like, yeah, they're clearly a little rusty, the graphics people. In all fairness, we don't get that many stop and go penalties, so they were probably scrambling through their list of graphics to try and find the right one. Okay, scrolling through again. So this is the point where the race starts to settle down. So you'll see this, if you're new to Formula One, you'll see this all the time. So you'll have the argy-bargy at the beginning and everybody will sort of settle down, and then everyone starts working out their tyre strategies, and the race itself kind of just settles down a little bit. And I think, here we go, lap 34. Ferrari got unfortunate again because Perez's car lost a chunk of carbon fibre. And we had another virtual safety car, so the marshals could recover it. But this happened just after Ferrari had stopped. Maybe 4 or so laps prior. So I think Ferrari, again, had the misfortune of the virtual safety car. I don't think it fell in their favour at all this race. I'm not sure whether Mercedes stopped here or further in. I can't remember. But yeah, and then after that, the race kind of just settled down. Russell and Antonelli sort of 7 or 8 seconds in the lead. Ferrari P3 and 4, Leclerc, Hamilton. And then the midfield, there was a lot of action going on. Overtakes all over the place.
Yeah.
Which was quite good, actually. One of the stats that came out of this weekend was in 2025, the race with the most number of overtakes was 60. 60 individual overtakes. The Australian Grand Prix had 120. So I genuinely think we're in a good place with these new cars, at least at the moment, for good racing. That's how I feel about it at the moment. What do you think?
What was the question?
Someone's not paying attention. What do you think about the new cars for racing so far?
I don't know. They are...
What's your initial reaction
smaller.
Based on Australia?
They're smaller. They are...
Give an opinion, Lucy. Don't sit on the fence.
I don't know. I'm so tired. Just did a 6-hour shift. I was here I didn't even notice I'm in
Yeah. Well, we had twice as many overtakes in this race than we did on the highest number of overtakes.
I like it. Right. I'm not sitting on the fence, right? I'm standing on the fence. No, I'm kidding. No. A lot of people have complained about new cars because they're like, oh, it's very Formula E. It's very,
It's not even a little bit.
First of all, I love Formula E. So, but no, I think it's fun. Like the very first lap felt exciting and felt
I
had that excitement when I was watching the race. It wasn't like, well,
the first 10
again.
After we had 2 overtakes on the first 2 laps, I kind of sat up and went, yep, you've got all of my attention right now.
Yeah.
And it felt like the first exciting race we'd had in a very, very long time. because not only was there overtaking at the front, there was overtaking in the midfield, and there was something to watch sort of all over the place because the
Yeah.
cars could seem to follow each other now.
Yeah,
Whereas
and what kind of
last
feels
year,
important as well is the fact that it was exciting and not just because people were crashing and because it was wet.
yeah, and as much as we had 6 people retire in the end,
Mm.
the racing was still good. And I want to point this out because a few people have talked about retirements and all the rest of it. Every time we have a new set of regulations that involve a new engine, this is how it goes. So I had a look. 2014, first era of the hybrid engines, the ones that we've just got rid of. We had was it 8 or 9 retirements. So out of 22, we had 13 finishes. It was 9 retirements. We had 1 disqualified. We had 1 not classified. So that was, I think that was actually Leclerc. Fell so far behind he wasn't classified. You had then essentially 7 people for other related things. 2 of them were a crash. Everybody else was a mechanical failure. So you had 13 finishes, which is less than we had this time around.
Yeah.
We had 5 mechanical failures on this one. So this is what you expect, and this will just get better over time. That's just how it's going to go. The engines are going to get more reliable as they find the weak points and they'll fix them, and then it won't be a problem. And like I said at the start, I think the teams are going to get on top of the software and the recharge and the regeneration and battery and all of that sort of stuff, and it'll just go away. The drivers will get used to driving them in a way that's good. I do think the super clipping is a bit silly in the way that they lose, I think it's 40 kilometers when they reach their top speed or something dumb like that. And I think the FIA will adjust the regs to make that less sharp or sudden, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah. And ultimately, in the end, we had a Mercedes 1-2 with Leclerc on the podium.
It's like that meme with the rake, you know, and
Yeah.
they like, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know whether we'll get a Mercedes dominated year this year because Leclerc was only 12 seconds off Antonelli in the end. But I'm not that bothered about one team dominating the race if the rest of the race is good.
Yeah.
So if Russell disappears off into the distance by 30 seconds, but everybody's jostling for the last of the podium places and there's overtakes all the way through the field, great.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it was in the Mercedes era when Hamilton was winning everything. But when we had that, we had Hamilton and Rosberg fighting for the lead. Let's not forget 2016 when Rosberg won his title. That was fought down to the wire. Infamously, in the only year we had a double points for the last race, which didn't make any difference to the actual result in the end. And then in the other years, we had other cars winning. So Red Bull were winning. Ferrari were taking wins occasionally. And there was still fights for other places. It wasn't just everybody got in a DRS train and then nothing happened. So as long as there's good racing and overtaking, I'm not that bothered.
Yeah.
Right. Shall we have a look at the Fantasy League? The F1 Fantasy League. Now, you've not looked at this, which I think is...
I have not.
Kind of comical. So I'm going to go through the top 3. So we've got Nick in first place with 235 points. It's kind of comical, the top 3. Marquez? I butchered your name.
Can you screen share it? Does that work?
No.
Okay.
I could, but faffing about with some other thing, the way that we've got it set up. If you haven't joined our league, join in the link in the description, and then you can see where we're at. So Marcus 234, so 1 point behind in P2. And then we've got Caitlin in P3 with 233. So it's 235, 234, 233. So for our top 3. Is
that Caitlin Penny?
Yes, it is.
I love Caitlin Penny. Sorry, I'm really tired.
And then it drops off to 213 after that.
Yeah.
Me and you, neither of us made the top 10. So I'm in
No.
12th place with 137.
Oh, no.
Last lap, Lucy. Out of 17 people, you are unfortunately in P17.
No! Last place, Lucy.
You
Yay!
you are P17 with 28 points.
How? How did this happen? What did I do?
You
Was it kind of
picked-
like an Aston
so-
Martin?
You picked Fernando Alonso,
Oh,
who
God.
retired and had a negative, but you also put your
Mhm.
double points on Alonso, so it was double negative. You had Valtteri
Oh.
Bottas, who also retired, so was a negative. And then you also had Nico Hulkenberg, who was retired and a negative.
What can I say?
So you
What
lost,
can I say?
you lost about 70 points just in retirements. You were helped out massively by having Red Bull on your team with 42 points. But yeah,
Who also had a retirement.
your double points on Alonso really didn't help you there.
I believed in him.
Yeah, didn't Lucy select Aston Martin despite the test? For her predictions, she did. But we'll talk about our predictions at the end of the year. But yeah, for your
I
fantasy
still
league,
chose him.
yeah, you still went. You picked this team after we did our predictions, and I talked about Aston Martin. My issue was I banked on McLaren, so I put Norris as my double points. Actually, no, I had an autopilot, so I automatically got double points on my highest finisher. And I picked Norris and McLaren. That was my two bets, and that kind of didn't pay off for me.
I should
so
have
that's
just
why
picked
I
my
moved on.
favourites. I shouldn't have tried to think. I should have just. I should have just done like Albon, Behrman. I don't really know after that.
To be fair,
Fellas.
Behrman did well for you, 20 points. You scored on Gasly, Behrman, Red Bull, and McLaren. So you had a good chunk of points. You were just let down by all your retirements.
Yeah. So what I'm
So-
hearing is I'm cooking like crazy, and Alonso is gonna drag that Aston Martin back to where it belongs, and I'm gonna
Well,
cash in.
This
And
is so. This is where you can start micromanaging, and then this is how a lot of people do this. They will swap out. I think you get 2 free transfers every race, so you could swap out Alonso for somebody else or whatever you want to do. And
Yeah,
everybody's
make a stand-up
value
business.
has changed as well.
Yeah.
So this is how you can
So
make
make
money and
profit.
lose money and stuff like that. But I bet a lot of people are going to just set and forget.
Yeah.
They will just pick their teams and then just leave it
Probably
alone
what
for
I
the
do.
season. And
Yeah.
it's one of the reasons I kind of just limited it to one team and went, everybody has
Too
to pick just
overwhelming
one team.
otherwise.
Yeah, and it makes it a little
Yeah.
bit more challenging. But it bodes well for me and you that aren't in the top 10.
Well done, everyone. In conclusion, well done,
Yeah,
everyone.
but you're over 200 points behind.
No,
Hey, so
I'm gonna catch up.
I also want to point this out. So one of the reasons that we wanted to do the league is if you start looking at everybody, so the entire world, everybody who's playing this, our top player is on 235 points. If I look at the global league, the top scoring person is on 359 points. So they're getting on for 100 points, 120 points higher than us.
Probably some fella got very lucky.
Yeah, they have Mercedes. Verstappen is where all the points were this weekend. Because Verstappen started quite far down the grid, he didn't score much for qualifying, but he overtook a lot of cars. So we got a bunch of points from that. And then
That'll do it.
all the people that are at the top had triple points on Verstappen, meaning that his 50 points became 150 points just on his own. Yeah, so there you go. Driver of the day, race position. He was -5 for qualifying, 14 for his race position, fastest lap, a bonus for overtaking. Yeah, that was kind of how best case scenario for anybody with Verstappen. So anybody who, so looking at the top 8, every single one of them has Mercedes and Verstappen. And they all have triple points on Verstappen and double points on somebody else.
A solid bet, really, isn't it?
The problem is you had to lock that in before qualifying, so it made it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's some of this is luck based. If Alonso hadn't retired, you'd be a whole chunk further up the leaderboard.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll get them next time. We'll get them next time. This is the comeback story. We've got a story arc happening now. Last to first challenge.
This is why we're going to follow it. So we'll call out our top 3s. We'll call out where
we need a little graph. We need a graph with them.
Well, we'll see how this goes over the year. So, yeah, China this weekend. Another early one for us in the UK, but it's also sprint weekend. Another weekend I am not getting up early to watch the sprint and the qualifying.
Normalise not watching it all live. Normalise protecting your sleep pattern.
I'm lucky that I've got Sky, so I record it and then I'll get up at 8, 9 o'clock, whatever, and then just sit down in the morning and watch it first thing before going about my weekend.
So me and my mum use Now TV, and we've definitely found that it's a bit annoying to watch on replay. So it does. Yeah. I think it does come up, but basically we've worked out it takes hours for it to come up on the replay on there. Yeah. So what we've worked out is if we have someone log in during the time the race is on and pause it, as long as we catch it while it's live, we've still got access to the footage, and we can just go back to the start of it. But you have to be there when at some point when it's happening. So
what I ended up doing for qualifying was when I got home, turned it on because obviously it was on at 4 a.m. They just put replays on constantly throughout the day. So I just caught one of those replays and just watched it live on the replay. But yeah, I just watch recording. So there's no point in getting up early and doing that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, the benefit of getting up early is being able to chat about it in the Discord server.
Yeah, you can chat with people. And...
I did not do that.
No, I didn't either. And the further down the year we get, when we get to the more European-friendly races, me and you will be watching them live. And if you want to chat with us while the race is on, you'll be able to in your Discord.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. Chinese Grand Prix this weekend, sprint as well. So this should be interesting. Change your fantasy team if you've got Cadillac or Aston Martin. But I'm not going to tell you how to do your thing. But yeah, we'll check in again.
Yeah, I just went to open it and it's taken our videos off, so I'll have to wait till after we've streamed.
Yeah, but we'll be around post stream on your Discord, I'm sure, and we will be back. Normally at 7:30 UK time, but you had to work, so.
I had a one-off overtime and I regret it.
Yeah, so...
Look at my hand. Look at my knuckle. You can't really see, but it's really red around there. And I got a paper cut here, if you can see that.
Yeah.
And I got another one here.
So I stabbed myself with a screwdriver the weekend, so, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really... Everything hurts. Everything aches. I'm normally working on like the checkouts or like any customer facing bits. So to do a whole day of manual labor was not something I'm used to doing. I didn't have gloves, so that's why I got all scratched up.
What we're hearing is Lucy is very fragile.
I am. I'm just a little girl.
Let's stop rambling so that Lucy can go and lie down and sleep. UK time 7:30 the Tuesday following the race is normally when we go live, so follow Lucy on Twitch and you'll get the notification. Join the Discord because Twitch notifications don't always work and the notification comes in there. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Always lovely. Bye. I have stopped the stream.